We're dwindling.
Yes, we're dwindling.
They had
We're
more at
dwindling.
the Fenton thing yesterday.
Yeah, well, we're having so many things that they're all over the map, yes. So,
But it's summer.
yeah, it is. We've got to get the attendance back up in person because that is where all the energy comes from in the collaboration, right? We have a guest today, which is extremely exciting for everybody online as well. All right, so we are going to cruise through. Jordan is closing on his own house today, actually. He is selling his house in Brighton, and they have moved to Heartland. So that's why he's not down here today. And Bill is still on vacation. Tanya is still with her family down in Florida, but she is still available per usual. So please, lots of prayers for them during this time period, for her sister and her family. But first, so this week coming up, we are all ready. Oh my gosh, what's the date today? 13th. The 13th. My goodness. So tomorrow, CMA strategies. So if you come learn some tips and tricks, even if you think you're a pro, you can always take one thing from it. That's at 10 o'clock here, hosted in Brighton. And then the 15th, we've got Bold Trail lead generation. So KV Core, how to convert your leads, how to get lead generation, right? So because KV Core and Bold Trail are the same thing. So 10 o'clock Brighton, learn how to operate in the system to encourage it to send you more leads. How awesome would that be? It's just like any lead generation system. It's not perfect, it's not flawless. It doesn't always send you great leads, but neither does Zillow and Realtor.com. All right? These at least are being produced on a very economical scale, free mostly. So let's remember to utilize that and let that system work for you. And then on the 16th, Jordan is doing more podcast interviews. Has anybody signed up to do one with him? Give it an opportunity. It's fun. I'd love to see somebody in here possibly just say, hey, yeah, I'll do a podcast interview with you and let's see what we can do with this. He's taken the time to do it. He's actually gotten really great at it. And it's something great for you to be able to use in your marketing. All right. You know how to get to the Monday emails and to our YouTube channel. That is where everything is at. If you need to get on the page. Has anybody signed up for September's Con Ed? I have. Great, good. So September 12th is the first one, and then we'll be running a second one on October 24th. I do intend to add another one in. We just don't have that date yet. We'll see how many we get through with these first two. The first one we have not invited the holding company to. The second one we are. So you will see, we're trying to keep that more exclusive for us, a little less distractions. And then the October one, the holding company is being invited to as well. Morning, Pam. So that will be great. If there's any questions on that, let us know. It is a new curriculum for us this year. A little bit more organized, which is great, like Bill was saying previously. Bill will be back next Monday, by the way.
Are you going to have a code of ethics?
Code of ethics, the NAR code of ethics.
Any code of ethics because they're running out?
That is done through, we are not teaching that through the awesome,
okay.
or through the office.
Okay.
That is being taught mainly through associations, like Elcar has been teaching them for free at the township. There is one coming up August 28th.
Yeah, I saw that. I can't do that.
Okay, we can see an alternative, or NAR's doing it for free online.
Right.
But that's a whole different curriculum and a whole different reporting, everything. It goes straight to NAR versus through the continuing ed companies, so it's a whole different ballgame, unfortunately. It's a NAR directive versus a state directive.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason we are not. It's not because we don't want to. It has to be done differently. The accreditations are different, everything's different. We've had a lot of confusion on that, understandably, because it's changed so much over the last few years from how it's required and who it's required from.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, Miss Lisa, she had her 9 o'clock today. So if you were not her 9 o'clock, get on her schedule and get your head straight. Alex is probably going to walk in just a few minutes. If you have any insurance questions or needs, please reach out to them. I find it very valuable to have those in our back pocket here. We're very fortunate to have that. If we have questions, they're there. Even if they're not your insurance carrier, they're here to help you. They're here to help your clients. They're here, they're not necessarily looking, they love your business, but they'll still help you even if they don't have your business. That's why these resources are within the office for you, okay? Like I said, Tanya's available. She's always here for you. She does the best she can possibly do out of anybody I've ever seen. Her work ethic is amazing. Her knowledge is impeccable. Her attention to detail, and she gets things cleared to close in 10, 12 days. What a beautiful thing to have, right? That's a great problem to have. Oh, we're cleared to close now, we're just waiting. Sure, sure, I'll take that any day. Any day. Hey, guess what? Buyers can't back out after they're cleared to close. So that's not a bad thing. How do you say your last name?
Kassar.
Kassar, just exactly like it is spelled.
Yeah.
He is with homesmiles.com. He is our guest speaker for the day. And come on down.
All right.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I will apologize in advance if it feels like I'm yelling. I am the youngest of 5. You had to be heard. I am a loud person. My wife says I'm probably the loudest person she knows, so I'm going to try to keep it to a dull roar at minimum, but I can't help it. So I get pretty excited. So I'll talk a little bit about me. I studied electrical engineering at Michigan State. I went and worked at Thomson Reuters in sales. I know you're wondering, like, how did that work? I sold tax and accounting software. I was a sales manager. I was a sales director. Moved over to the sales arm of the AI CPA. So I ran their channel distribution, created a mid-market sales team as well. The last 2 years, I actually worked for a company called Ascent. We help very large manufacturers uncover full supply chain transparency. So think about where the gold that goes into the microchip of your iPhone, where it was mined from. That's the kind of stuff that we did. So now I started my own company, homesmiles.com, Home Smiles of Ann Arbor. It is a franchise. It is a nationally recognized brand. One of the reasons, I got into this franchise is because of all the back office support that I get. My dad owned a restaurant growing up, so I was working since I was 8 years old. I believe in exceptional customer service, and if I can't deliver exceptional customer service, then what good is the best product in the world if you can't get it to people in a timely manner? And so that's where I've had all the success in my career, and that is why I chose Home Smiles as a franchise. And so I'm here to talk to you guys all today about how we can all work together to hopefully make your lives easier. You get more listings, you make more money. Again, I have a sales background. I understand where you guys are at. Converting leads, as she talked about, getting in front of more people, differentiating yourself, and that is one of the big things that drew me to this company. So again, everyone takes their car to get an oil change, right? You go for your annual checkup. Yet the number one investment people have is their home, and they don't necessarily do all the right things to take care of it. So all the things that we do at Home Smiles is preventative maintenance, right? You clean your gutters. I have a buddy who's a roofer. He said the number one thing that he gets calls on in the state of Michigan is people don't clean their gutters. They freeze, and they have to replace all of the wood on the side of the roof. And then typically they basically tell people, well, hey, your roof is 20 years old. Do you just want to get a new roof? No one wants to replace the roof. It's $20,000, $30,000 of something that doesn't add value because everyone expects your roof to be there, right? And so what can you do to make sure that your home is, again, functioning at its 100% optimum? So, again, most people don't have training, tools, resources to do it. Nowadays with homeowners, maybe they're elderly, their kids don't necessarily know how to do it. I know the younger generation, they don't want to spend their time getting on a ladder. It's like specialized. Weekend times are valuable to most people. So just in general, people don't necessarily want to get up 3 stories, 2 stories to clean out their gutters, wash their windows, exterior. People don't know how to clean out their dryer vent, fully. They don't necessarily have the tools. So that's what we're here created to do all the services at one low price, typically beat all our competitors. So I won't go through all these, but we do 18 points of service for our full service package. There's also a ton of other stuff. that we can potentially do. It's all, oh, okay. So, all right, so I'll talk about all the points of service, right? So we're talking about gutter cleaning up to 3 stories with our Home Smile vac. I can do more stories. We just have to have a conversation about it. Downspout to get cleaning, right? Minor tree branch removal, water heater flush, HVAC system. We will clean the air conditioning coils as well. Window washing and the screens. Outside, exterior. I can do interior as well. So we'll just have to have a conversation about that. Driveway pressure wash. I can do whole home pressure wash. Actually, I went and talked to another real estate company in Brighton, and they had a home that they were just putting on the market, and they had me get a quote on Saturday for a whole home pressure wash. They had some like mold and algae on the side of their house, right? Give them that curb appeal so that when you're going to sell your house, you can get top value for your clients. So again, dryer vent cleaning. While researching this business, that's the #1 reason of home fires in the United States. I just did a house yesterday, and they were like, oh, we just got our washer and dryer replaced last year, and they said they blew it all out. It's all good. Well, I can tell you that we pulled out dryer lint clump like this out of it that was, if anything freak happened or anything like that, a spark goes, I mean, that house is going up very, very soon. Right, and so, I mean, if you take your dryer lint and you ever go camping and you want to start a fire, that's the #1 best thing you can do. One little spark and the thing will ignite, right? So try to make sure we keep the home safe. Actually, I believe the condos that were in Howell, the 6 condos that went up earlier this summer, dryer lint, new condos. So again, keep your house safe and make sure it's move-in ready for the best possible experience. Right, smoke alarm test, carbon monoxide test and battery replacement, refrigerator coil, range hood. I can't, begin to tell you that when you look at your range hood, some people, just do the screens or anything like that, but it does get pretty nasty in there. Grease, another thing that can cause home fires, and as well as you just want to make sure it's clean, especially if you're listing your house for sale, or when you move in, you don't want to have to do deep cleaning. You want this stuff to be ready to go. Garage door is actually considered an appliance. #1 appliance for people to get hurt. So we'll test the laser system, so make sure it goes up. The pressure system, we'll make sure it's lubricated, make sure everything is working in proper order. As well, clean and deodorize garbage disposal units, can't talk. We'll do all the P-traps in the bathrooms. Again, just making sure everything is clean, just so that you don't have to call plumbers. You don't have to call roofing companies. You can make your home, generally by doing this, your home is more efficient, so you can save on energy costs. I don't know if anybody got their latest electric bill. I know mine was insane, right? So I will try to save money anywhere I possibly can. I talked about sinks, bathrooms, tubs, showers, all of that. And this is what we do for our 18 points of service. Do it for one price. And I'll tell you, so 2,500 square foot house, this is $650 for us to do all of this. So again, we beat all of our competitors, and that the reason for it is you don't have to call 16 different people to get this work done. Show up with one van, a team of 2, and we'll get this done in about 2 hours for you. So our technicians, they are trained. I fly them out to San Francisco. We did a week of training with the office. I make sure that they're trained. I train with them. They are background checked, certified, all of that. So, and the difference is our people. Again, told you, exceptional customer service is where I'm at. I expect the same out of my people, right? And I also stand by my work, 100%, fully guaranteed. If you are not satisfied, I will come do it again. 100%. That is who I am. That's kind of why I share a little bit of my background. I will 100% guarantee my work if somebody's not satisfied. Right. So, let's go. So again, how can we help you? You're like, all right, you're rambling on of all these things and great home services. How can we help you? So, our home office was actually founded by a real estate attorney He was the real estate attorney for Intero, one of the largest Berkshire Hathaway offices. So he worked for who now the current CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. And so they created this, again, because of all the different laws, all the different things that would happen with property managers. They had their own property management company. And so they created this company, kind of do their own doors. And then everyone was like, wait a minute, we need more of this. So Berkshire Hathaway uses this in their listing presentations in order to differentiate the package. I don't know about you guys, but I know probably 15 close connections of people that are realtors. I really do. So what is the differentiation between you and somebody else that comes in, right? A lot of people offer some of the same things, but this is something that could be a very big differentiator to get the house curb appeal, right before they move in. Also makes the property more saleable, right? So I have a plaque. If you want to put in an open house, here's all the things that happen. We take before and after pictures, so you can put in your disclosure documents, just to make sure that everything is on the up and up for you, right? And some of these things that end up going in can be nickel and dime when people are selling their house, trying to get money there. You want to make sure we eliminate all of that, because the higher the value of the home, more commission everybody gets. Also, closing gifts. So we talk about referrals. Referrals are the number one source, right? I'm sure a lot of you get a ton of referrals, right? That's where you sell most of your houses. Well, I'll give you 5 different touch points when you do a referral. So when you buy it, when they redeem it, I'll let you know when we're on our way, when we're done, and then when the anniversary is also coming up, so that you can have all of those different touch points to ask them how do they like their home, do they know anybody selling, to get more referrals. And same thing, referrals, right? If somebody gives you a referral, you do this as a gift as well.
Absolutely.
So this is my contact information. I have cards on the back. I have pamphlets. I'm here for you. You let me know if you have any questions. My cell phone is on my card, so you can text me, call me, and I'm here to have some help. Go ahead.
What's your typical scheduling out time, like turnaround time? So, hey, got a listing that they just called. It needs a little bit of sprucing. It could use some help. How long would it typically take on an average, a reasonable average, not a fire?
So
but, yeah.
So I guess right now it kind of depends. Right now we're getting a lot of gutter cleanings and different things, but they don't take that much time.
Right.
So I've talked to my techs and all of that. We will work overtime, right? So if there's nobody in the house, I'll show up at 6 a.m. and we'll get this stuff done on a Saturday, on a Sunday. So turnaround time could be 48 hours. Could be 24 hours if we're I just randomly on I told you that other real estate. I went and checked it out Saturday. We had the job. It's today. I had a cancellation, so I do everything in my power to make sure, especially because they're on a tight timeline, do everything in my power to make sure that I can accommodate that schedule.
Awesome. Because I'm hungry and ready to go.
Yep.
So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
stepped in shortly after we started, sorry.
Yeah, no.
So you may have covered this, but you have a menu with price points?
We do on the website. So we can do individual services, right? But and then we bundle all the services in. So if you want just one thing, not the whole 18-point, absolutely.
Sometimes clients confuse just a couple.
Yep. So that's what I did. Again, this is what I did this weekend, right? Was we did just a whole home pressure wash. That was it. Oh, and we washed the windows too. So.
Very cool. Very cool. But you do the full 18 points for, you said 6?
So it depends. So it's that's an average home price,
Okay.
I think about 2,500 square feet.
Yes.
If it's 1,500 square feet, it's lower.
Right.
But sometimes with the bigger properties over 2,500 square feet, there's one on my lake that is just all windows, right? So it's gonna take me all day of just windows. So we flex it a little bit, but honestly, for the most part, about 650.
Awesome.
And also, if you have somebody who's price conscious and whatever, just talk to me and let's figure something out. In that, if it makes sense, if it's people are expecting this for something crazy, I mean, I will walk away with a certain aspect, but look, if there's someone, especially I like to help people out, right? Somebody elderly on a very specific budget or anything like that, I'm here to help. So,
Thank you.
any other questions? We excited?
Yeah.
All right.
No, this is a great service.
So-
It makes it easy.
Yeah. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the time, and hopefully you enjoy coffee, bagels, and the cookies are delicious. Tanya approved. They're from Dexter Bakery.
Oh, okay, very nice. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah.
You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to go. Whatever you'd like to do. And if you guys have questions, he's here. But things to keep in mind as things are shifting. So easy ways to kind of plug things in, right? If you've got a house that needs a little bit of love or a little bit of sprucing and you're getting ready to put on the market and you're under pressure and they don't know where to begin, this is a great place to begin. A really, really great place to begin.
Also, just to let you know, I live on Lake Shalom, so I'm right across the street.
Perfect.
So I'm here local.
He's right in our backyard,
Yeah.
which is super cool. We love supporting local, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, congratulations on buying this franchise. It's really neat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Oh, Brent, it's not going. All right.
I just had to click on it, sorry.
So now we're going to talk about restricted words in the MLS, all right? So this is from a Real Comp update. Real Comp's on track with finalizing the implementation of the NAR settlement practices. Here are some important things we need you to be aware and of for your broker to take action on. Listings, as you already know, we removed all of the compensation fields. We know that, don't we? Those have been gone for a little bit. And data, or compensation related fields of data from listings and listing displays in RealComp the week of July 15th. If you have any on-market or pending listings that convey compensation information in the remarks or any other fields, you should update them and remove the non-compliant data before Wednesday the 14th, tomorrow. Okay, that's tomorrow. This way you can make whatever other changes are necessary to ensure your listing remarks read well after you have removed the non-compliant terms. Because what's going to happen is your stuff's going to get scrubbed in a minute. They're going to remove words out as they should be. They have to be compliant. So your remarks may look a little strange because there could be holes of words missing, right? So this is something so I suggest if you have any listings that are in the MLS at all right now, check that verbiage so that it doesn't look ridiculous, because it could, all right? Beginning on Wednesday, August 14th, as part of our ongoing commitment to NAR settlement compliance, RealComp will begin conducting automatic listing cleanup procedures to remove any compensation, commission data that is found in listings at that time. We prefer that you do this yourself. RealComp is asking you to do this yourself. Additionally, the system will no longer just warn and then allow users to bypass restricted words and phrases. It will prevent you from saving the listing with the verbiage until you've corrected it. So they're taking some extreme measures, as they have to ensure that they are remaining compliant, because the lawsuit has put compliance on the MLS's back. All right. So that's why the options for us to not that we would want to work around things, but those options are not even there. All right. You are not capable of doing that, Margaret.
Has there been any finalization with this
No.
settlement? No.
No.
So,
It's from what I understand, it's
Okay,
no
so-
further than it was a week ago.
right, so then, wasn't there like a deadline or something? Or no?
It is just being fully implemented on this Saturday. Yeah.
But I mean, so this is gonna be fully implemented, but again, if this settlement,
The best is yet to come, Margaret.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm joking. Like I said,
Yeah, I'm just curious.
it is
We're
not
doing all
signed
this
off
stuff
on.
and it's not-
Yes,
yeah.
it is not signed off on. However, it has to be implemented,
Yeah.
because they are following what the settlement is dictated and what was already agreed upon, just however not signed off on by a judge. So it is being fully implemented across the board. No matter, there is no avoiding that whatsoever. But could this change? I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that things may look, things very well could look different in a week or 30 days. As we know, Colorado has filed something that they're not doing it.
Good for them.
Yeah, because if the state laws are different, it trumps what the DOJ did. Okay, so if state laws are not in alliance with that, state laws supersede. So we will just stay tuned as things are coming along, but I don't anticipate Michigan Realtors or the state of Michigan going against the Department of Justice. So.
What if I list a house and it's a sales guy and like on all his mirrors he's got 3%.
I'm sorry, say that again?
If I list a guy's house and like when I'm doing pictures, on his mirrors he's got a big 3% on
It's still being done through
it.
the
It's not for
MLS.
real estate, it's just he's a sales
I
guy.
know, but the pictures,
You'll catch that?
they'll catch it. You'll get reported, it'll catch it. Yeah. Margaret, your hand was next, and then Bobby.
I'm just curious, so I just wanted to see what people are experiencing, because I'm not, like on the listing side and the buyer side, I mean, it's like normal.
Yeah.
But it is just really interesting. I had a patron at Recycle Livingston approach me, and she said, or do you work as a buyer agent? I said, yeah. And she's like, well, I'm willing to accept or pay like the 2%. And I'm like, I was just kind of confused. I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. I said, sellers usually pay the 3% and my commission. But she's like, well, yeah, but things are crazy. She's like, we have to pay that. And I'm like, well, no, you don't. And this, I just went on to
And it's
explain this.
negotiable. Yeah.
Yeah, it is negotiable.
It's negotiable.
It's negotiable. And I said that it's just all about communication. And I said, but it's just really interesting that I think that the media is just kind of distorted it. Yeah.
It's absolutely turned it into something that it's
Yeah, it's
not.
not.
Yes.
One of the big consumer outfits released and a running ad saying never pay a buyer's
Yes.
agent above 2%.
Yes.
And I've seen a couple
Who's
of
doing that?
It's a giant
it's one of
consumer
our
protection
big,
outlet.
Consumers. of
It's a
America.
consumer protection outlet.
It's a bit,
So-
they've done great work. That particular outfit has done all kinds of great work and recalls and.
But they just fixed commission.
But they just
Yeah.
stepped into.
Yeah, fixing
this
commission.
realm. And so because of their background, everybody's like, oh, well, who doesn't support what they say?
Yeah.
And they stepped in and they released a couple of items, and if you're in their group, you've got their mailer. I've seen one television ad and another Amazon page that said, never, this outfit, recommends that you never pay a buyer's agent more than 2%.
2%.
And that's where the 2% is
Yeah.
coming from.
How
Yes.
would you say that? How can they do that? If
No, it's price fixing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't we sue them?
It's
for
commission
that? Yeah.
fixing.
Well, they're saying it's consumer safety.
It is consumer safe, yes. So you can see the irony and the idiocracy in all of this.
That's
There
not
is,
consumer safety. That's hurting people.
there will be issues that come about from that, correct?
That's
So
hurting people.
you just keep your heads out of all of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do what we're supposed to do. We get our form signed asking if your buyer would like the seller to pay the commission, then you supply the appropriate form with your part of your purchase agreement asking for the seller to be paying the compensation as part of your negotiation with the purchase agreement. It's that simple. This is not complicated. It feels like it because of all the chatter. Like we sit here and say every week, this is not to make any of you feel silly. However, get rid of the noise, focus on what it is. You need to make sure that you're asking for the compensation, or what? What happens?
You're working for free.
You're working for free. Okay? You're working for free. Do you want to work for free? I can give you 10,000 reasons not to. Just at a $300 and some $1,000 house, right? Absolutely. You work really hard for those deals, don't you?
I'm not working for free, I promise you that.
I promise you that I will not want you to work for free too. Neither
I
will
would
Joe.
go to jail.
This is all going to be just fine. There's no horror stories right now. Are we seeing, for lack of better terms, are we seeing stupidity? Of course we are. Are we seeing people that have no idea this is even taking place? Absolutely. I feel that some agents live under a rock right now. However, at the end of the day, you guys know what you're doing. You're way ahead of the curve. You're so prepared for this. We have beat it and beat it and beat it and drummed it into your brains as hard as we can on purpose. You're fine. You're going to do just fine. This is not going to hurt you. You will not make less money because of this, because you will adhere harder to what you feel you're worth. You will no longer, 3/4 of the way through, say, man, I got to throw some money at this. You're going to look at it differently because you had to fight to get the thing signed, or you had to ask to get it signed. This is a mental shift for you. Do not give your money away mid-transaction. It is not your home. It is not your property. You are not buying this. You are not selling this. Your compensation is not part of negotiating after you've already negotiated those documents. That's why you do it up front, right? So that doesn't have to come into play later. Otherwise, your commission will be just chipped away at the entire time. You get it signed, and you say, nope, we've already negotiated that. That's predetermined already. Sorry, right? You have to hold hard to it. Oh, there needs to be a new septic tank. Well, I guess somebody needs to figure out where the money's coming from, but it's not from you. You don't live there. You're not using that septic field. That's not your investment. It's not your equity. Quit coming out of your pockets for everybody, okay? We make mistakes and it has to happen. It happens. However, on day-to-day normal transactions, you should not be coming out of pocket. So do not come out of pocket from the front, and do not come out of it during the transaction. Brent, if you wouldn't mind, will you, let me click on this.
I just wanted to,
Yes.
in Joe's response about the 3% on
Yes.
the mirror. I've been seeing seller concession on the signs, real estate signs.
Yes,
That would be something, Joe, just put it out front on your sign.
yes.
So you have a buyer, 0 down, first time home buyer, no money. You're gonna ask him to sign a buyer's agency paying you 3%.
You are going to, yes.
And you know that's not gonna happen, so then you
Thank
say,
you.
well, the sellers we can try to get the sellers to pay it. The sellers say no. So that's just gonna take that buyer straight to the seller.
Yeah.
But
That's what I don't like.
But I think just the way, I'm sorry, just with the communication for that listing agent to talk to the sellers when they're listing the property and just saying that there would be a competitive disadvantage if
Yes.
you do not.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
that, I mean, but that's all about the communication and playing nice in the sandbox.
Yes.
And because if you're not going to do that when you're on the buyer side, you're going to get burned. So it's
Right.
like just, it's
Yes.
all about communication
Yeah.
right up, and if everybody's professional.
And to
That's
acknowledge
right.
your concern, Bonnie, those people, that type of buyer will have done that anyways. Your average buyer is not going to be doing
That's why you
that.
gotta get them under that
So
contract.
why even take them on? That's
Correct.
what I'm thinking.
Your average buyer is not going to be that person that does that. And there will be people who will have to possibly learn the hard way with not getting calls back, or, because let's be, listing agents are not going to answer their phone any more than they already were. They don't know if you're a buyer. They don't know if you're an agent calling to see if you are paying compensation. Okay?
So what would keep us just charging the seller 4% and not offer any
Nothing.
compensation?
That's what they're doing.
And then we can make more money.
Because you're gonna have to do both sides.
That's okay. It's better than
Yeah.
3%.
That's not illegal by any means.
That's what Martin.
However, we do encourage offering compensation out, because remember, you will get back to you what, so the competitive disadvantage for that is the seller needs to have people coming through the door. They need to be able to, if you have a fiduciary duty, to make sure that that seller can yield as much money as possible and that nothing is in the way of that. So you put a competitive disadvantage out there if the seller is not willing to bring more people into their home, because what drives purchase price? Supply and demand. So if you have more demand for the home, you're going to have a better purchase price. There's going to be ultimately better terms and or better money is coming to the seller. So we have to remember that our fiduciary duties are to our sellers if that is our seller or our buyer, whatever your duty is, whatever relationship you have at that point. And if that seller decides that they do not want to offer out compensation, to predetermine that and just wait and see what type of offer comes, that's up to them. However, we very, very, very well know, and we've had many buyers already in the last few weeks say, I am not looking at a house that a seller is not offering compensation because I'm not coming out of pocket that much money, when at the end of the day, the house is no cheaper. The price is not compensated for downwards because the seller has decided to not offer compensation. The disadvantage comes very quickly. Margaret.
And again, in the listing appointment, all the comparables that had, most of them had commission.
99.9% of them had compensation in there.
You can't use
Yes.
that as a comparable, so
Correct.
like what you just said, I mean, then you have to offer a
Yes.
lower price.
Are you willing to lower the price of your home so that the buyer can come out of pocket additional funds?
Right.
I'm
Correct.
finding all agents are like me. They're just offering commission. They don't want to deal with them.
No, business as usual. Get your form signed. Do what you need to do. This is not, if we allow it to tank it, it's going to tank it. If we don't allow it to tank it, it's not going to tank it. It's all mindset. I hear people writing themselves out of the story every single day right now. The what if, the what if, what if. You're creating it for yourself. We have to get in the mindset of this is not a big deal. I'm just going to get my form signed, business as usual, and I'm going to have to educate a little bit more than I typically would. And that's
Primarily
okay.
on the list side.
Pardon?
Primarily on the list side.
Correct.
Which is business as usual.
Correct. It's business as usual.
This is the way it was, this is the way it is now, now we have to do it this way,
Yes.
so we got some forms we can read through.
I promise there are many, many sellers that understand that they are harming themselves by not offering compensation out. These are conversations had every day, way more than the flip side. Way more. Margaret.
It is really interesting, just on, I do social media, and there's so many realtors like making all these long posts,
Yes.
and it's just like, why are you doing that? And it's just like making
Yes.
it
It's creating more
Yeah.
noise.
yeah, it's just,
Yep, everybody has their own,
Yeah.
let's be here. Okay, so do they just want to be heard?
yeah.
Do they just want to
Yeah.
get likes and shares?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. At the end of the day, business as usual, grind. Do what you need to do. Fill the pipeline for the winter, because the numbers, when we get to the numbers you're going to see, you need to be dialing in harder. You're going to really, really, really need to be dialing in. Getting your processes perfected. Getting your marketing tuned up. Professionalism is everything right now, I promise you.
I find if I'm hurting, all realtors are hurting.
Absolutely.
And they want to sell, and they want to get a sale, so they know that's
Yes.
going to cripple them if
Yes.
they don't offer a commission,
I
so they're
mean,
doing it.
what common sense person wouldn't understand that?
Correct.
Unless you
No.
That individual that says no was always going to be hard to begin with.
Yeah. it's just
Always.
common
They were
sense.
going to come at you now, or they were going to come at you later.
They're not going to make it through the business. They'll just be
No.
gone soon.
No. So we'll circle back quickly to some of these words, okay? You're going to have to take a look at these, because I'm going to be honest, there's quite a lot of them. So take care, Jason. It was really nice to meet you.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Do you guys have any questions for Jason before he leaves? Thank you for the food.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you for
problem.
coming to our meeting.
Great.
I love what you have going, and you will hear more from us.
Yeah, perfect.
I think it's great.
Again, there's my card and stuff back here. Please, anything you need, happy to help.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Have a
Thanks for
wonderful
having me.
day. Take care. So, I mean, it is there are a lot of words here.
Nicole,
Way more.
I tried printing that, like for some reason, I couldn't print it.
It is 7 pages. You might have to right click it to print it through.
Oh, is that
Okay,
okay?
because it's not a printable document.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, things that you don't think are restricted words are restricted words. So please check your remarks on all of your listings, because even if it's pending, has that appraisal happened? Maybe the appraiser's looking at the words and gets really confused because there's a bunch of holes now. Just silly things, very silly things. However, the public is going to see that these words are removed because these are syndicated out to third-party sites. So whether it's under contract or not, the public is going to see that it looks ridiculous if words are missing. Okay, I'm just giving you forewarning because these are things that are not being thought about. People read these emails and just say, oh, okay, we're not going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. It's being pulled out for you if you don't pull it out. It's going to look silly because that scrubbing system does not know what you're trying to say. It could be Italian marble and the word Italian gets removed. It can be integration and it gets removed. I mean, this is an example of what landlords being removed. Buyer agent is restricted. Ways to trick the system are restricted. They have thought of a lot, but even with dash marks in there, with all sorts of things. So I'm begging you, please audit your listings that are in, whether they are active, contingent, ABO, coming soon, pending, conditionally withdrawn, because that's still considered actively contracted with us. Check those out. Make sure you check your partial saves, okay? Because you're gonna forget. And then it's gonna go live and it's gonna have a bunch of holes in it. And they're innocent. The words are innocent, however they're being scrubbed out. Margaret.
So they've in the past, like if I've had it, then they've like
Highlighted it. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
and
no
then-
longer going to allow you, it will not be able to be pushed through any longer. You will have to remove the restricted words.
Right. So then if I'm typing up my remarks
Yes.
and then I use one of those words, it won't let me.
It's not gonna let you go farther.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, okay.
Yeah, but I just mean for current things that you have in right now, the system's gonna be removing everything out.
Right.
So,
When does this take place?
this takes place tomorrow. Tomorrow. You have a date, yes, so they just put this out yesterday.
Okay, when you've got a street name and you're giving the directions on how to get to a particular listing, and you have to turn on Indianola,
Yeah,
Or church.
they
Yeah.
struck that out of mine.
yeah.
Black Eagle.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
They're going to have to figure
Black
out
hardware.
something, okay?
Cabinets.
That is something that, because it's part of the name.
Wow.
So they take churches out. You can't put church in. What about schools? Near schools?
Now, hold on, let me just
Can't
read,
say call and-
let me get back to this because we don't need those words. You guys can take a
You
look
can't
at
say
those.
call listing.
You can't use the word Hindu. Gosh,
Did you
man.
hear Kathy where she said you can't put in?
You could say near the Hindu temple.
No.
Can't use
say that.
HIV. I use that in all my listings.
It's an HIV-free home.
Okay, what about
Just
the fact that the
children, you can't say children.
It says remarks or any other fields. So let me call and find out we'll call and just get an update on how they're going to work around like street names and directions and stuff. Because clearly, you can't, if Black Eagle is Black Eagle. Indian Oaks is Indian Oaks. Correct.
The rules are.
We have to change it to White Eagle.
They won't let you.
You can't say what? You can't say
You
what?
can't say that.
Can't say that.
You
Should
could
try
write
to run a Facebook.
So let me at least find out, you guys, because this is a very legitimate thing to have to figure out how that's going to be worked around. I would think that they thought of this already, so let me just confirm.
Review the list.
I'm doing a subdivision with all black and white and colored streets. And Hindu.
there's a listing out there right now, and right in the remarks it says, the seller, this was a grow house, the seller will sell the equipment with the house, or he'll sell it individually. Now, I wouldn't think that should be in a listing, should it?
It's legal now.
It's legal, there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly legal.
We had a title
They're not
presentation the other day
discriminating.
saying you could have title problems.
Yep, you could, but it's legal to
Yeah,
say, it's
yeah.
legal to sell it that
It's
way.
getting better. It's getting better.
That part is getting better, there is
Yeah.
actually, the lending's getting better and title's getting better for that.
They're actually insuring over it.
Okay. Bill just gave a presentation the other day about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some are hip to it, some are not.
You can't say black and white, but you can sure sell weed now.
Yes, you can.
Green weed.
Can't say green.
Green is, I think, okay.
You really can't say green?
No, I think green is fine. So, obviously, we're making some light of this, but it is very serious to make sure that your
You
stuff
can't say
is
black windows in
compliant.
the house?
Pardon?
You can't say black windows in a house?
We'll find out, I
No, you
guess.
can't.
It says
I
no.
don't think you
It says
Yeah,
no.
like white cabinets, you can't.
No?
No.
Yeah, because
They've
of
been
light.
flagging white cabinets for a long
For a long
time.
This
time.
is
We
the
could go down.
stupidest
We could
thing,
go down. We
I'm
can't
now
do that.
stupider before I walked in this door.
Well, this is being done everywhere. This isn't just
Now we have to
exclusive
put
for
light
Real
colored
Comp or
cabinets.
Gmar or Flex or Paragon. This is across the board, guys. This is just,
I know.
We're gonna have to
Pivot.
get participation trophies for showing a house.
what do? We adapt, thrive, and we adapt, survive, and thrive, right? And that's what we're doing. This is our world. We play in the sandbox. Everything's going to sound a little mundane for a little bit until it gets figured out. But to circle back, we will call Real Comp, whether it's me or somebody else, to figure this out and find out how they're working around street names and things like that. Because maybe it's triggered that if it's in the street name, I don't know, they could have some triggering system if in the street name it allows it for the directions. I'm not sure.
Well, because it pulls from public record, they're not going to change all of public
No,
record.
they can't scrub out those words. No, it's part of the legal description and all the good stuff. So that little bit of that tidbit of knowledge is to be determined. I'm assuming we'll have very good news on that, but I don't want to speak incorrectly.
Okay.
Yeah. But so this, make sure you check your listings so your listings don't look really silly that are all in the MLS right now. Because remember, it syndicates to the third-party sites, like I said. So it's not just Real Comp, it will change the verbiage on all of the sites. Now, with saying that, you can go edit third-party syndicated sites. We know this. They are not adhered to the same rules as the MLSs are. You're going to have a little bit more work probably working in and out of these third-party sites, editing descriptions, saying that the seller's paying compensation with the right offer and negotiations, right?
Have you ever tried to
Commissions
change
are always
something on Zillow?
negotiable. What was
You
that?
cannot.
What?
Have you ever tried to change something on Zillow?
Have you?
Yeah, you
Okay.
cannot.
You are able to claim it and edit your listing. What was that?
Kanan is right, you have to, when you try to do it, you have to go in and get all these special permissions.
Oh, they changed it a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If you could even get somebody to respond.
Okay, well, we'll look.
If you're a Premier agent, you can.
I'm a Premier agent.
You can. You can go in, you just claim the listing and the listing.
Yeah, you have to claim the listing.
Yeah.
You've had to claim the listing for a little while.
So I can say black cupboards and
You can be more descriptive in that. It's not going to be, I don't know what their scrubbing systems are,
Black Eagle Drive.
but if it's appropriate to what it's supposed to
They're
be,
gonna have similar scrubbing systems.
Yeah, they are.
they're going to make sure they're compliant.
Yeah.
However, commissions can go in these third-party sites. Commissions can go, compensation can go on your website. Compensation can go on the yard sign. Compensation can go in a billboard.
In your flyers.
In the flyers, yes. You can have a QR code right in front of that house that takes them right to your website that says buyer's agents welcome.
3%.
It's interesting because I always call the agents just to get information, like especially if I'm a buyer agent, because I want to know what they need and and introduce myself because people sell people per
Yes.
Natoli, and so I just think that that's just awesome to talk to them, and then you can ask that, and then I'll be good.
Right.
Millennials
You
don't
make,
do that.
you're making that connection. You can always not call and just send the compensation form over, the broker-to-broker compensation. There's nothing wrong with that. However, if you are in a multiple offer situation, wouldn't you want to know every detail that's coming, that every adversity and every hurdle you may be hitting with negotiations and making sure your buyer can get the best deal possible? That's why your exclusive buyer agency contract is pre-signed prior to doing this, so that your commissions don't even come into play when that offer is made. You are not up for negotiation once you've established that, unless you choose to be. You don't have to change your compensation unless you agree to it, once it's already signed in a contract.
Already close.
I called an agent this weekend, and it was her voicemail, and it says if you're calling, right off the rip, she just said I'm paying a 2.5% commission.
Yeah.
Right on her voicemail.
Right on her voicemail.
So then
It took all of the
I thought I was
questions
calling.
away. Send a text message, put it in writing.
They'll answer a text quick.
That helps the buyers. Let's be honest. We need to help buyers understand that they want to write an offer on this house too. Even if you're the listing agent, you want the buyers to come, right? You want all the buyers. Give me 40 buyers coming. I want to have a multiple offer situation. I want to be the best competitive race it could be for my seller possible and yield them as much money as possible. So yeah, you want everybody to know. Bring it all in. Danny, I see your hand.
I spoke with a commercial broker a few days ago, and commercial brokers operate on a different level MO than we do as residential brokers. And I asked him what the impact of all this hoopla was on commercial brokers. And he just kind of laughed and he says, "We've been doing this for years."
Yep. Yep.
In other words, the first words out of their mouth is, "Are you going to pay me?"
Yeah. Welcome to the party. It's the first thing asked.
And he just laughed when I told him about the confusion and chaos that it's created in residential.
Yes.
And he also said, "Well, it's understood because most of those people shouldn't be doing it."
We don't even understand how much protection we had with the MLS having that compensation field in there for us. It guaranteed you were getting paid if you got an accepted purchase agreement and went to a closing table. They could not go against that. So this is the difference. That protection level is gone. Now what protects you? A contract. Just like it should be. Just like it always should have been. Okay? Any other questions on that? So what are we going to do? Are we going to audit our listings today? Even our partial saves? Our everything? Yes. Yes.
So if the government changes, like in the future, and the DOJ changes, and this could all go away.
It's harder to unravel than that. It is harder to unravel than that. They would be slow changes, slow regulation changes.
The best is yet to come.
Hopefully a civil war.
Would say that. Alex, do you have anything you want to chit chat about?
That'd be a good one.
Come on down.
If anybody out here is on Facebook, you're going to have a fun article to read with a beautiful picture of our Governor Whitmer talking about how Michigan is 81% higher than the average across the rest of the country as far as car insurance goes. So back in 2019, we had all this beautiful legislation that was going to change everything and make all this positive impact, and rates were going to go down and blah, blah, blah. Then we got our $400 refunds, and it was, everything was great. The ship has now turned like a complete 180, so we're in a worse spot than ever before. So I guess all I'm doing is just bringing this to your attention, because you're going to read this article and you're going to, the national average or the state average is this, and the national average is that, and blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is, it's like, if you haven't shopped in a while, or if you haven't looked around, it's worth it. Like, I mean, whether you come to me, who's here every Tuesday, or you go to somebody else, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, seriously, take a look at it, because it's insane. I mean, Keisha, her premium, her renewal with Progressive was going to be $1,100 a month. We were able to put it, or get it down to back less than what she was paying last year for like $550 a month or something. So like, I mean, granted, a couple youthful drivers, blah, 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 but like whatever, everyone's circumstances are different. Either way, I think Deborah Jajuga, I think she works here, she called me a couple weeks ago, and we cut her stuff in half. So I mean, it is insane, like the amount of money that you can save just simply by picking up the phone. Like, it really is crazy. So I think it's certainly something to take a look at. Obviously, I've got quite a few different options, so if anybody's interested, come on by. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you. Have a good one. Now I don't feel bad about taking a cookie. I got my work in now. I can get up here and get after
When it turns 20 when it goes back down.
I really encourage you to hear the words he's saying. Because what is the number one, let's be honest, are people this is just a reality talk for a second. Are there a lot of people struggling to pay their bills right now? Are there a lot of people that are paying way more for groceries than they ever have, and it's affected their household more than they can imagine? These are simple ways to try and bring other things down. You be your own advocate. Tell your clients to be their own advocates. They should be shopping some of this right now. You have great people in your back pocket that will give them honest feedback on what they should do. Alex, would you take a client on and just take them knowing that you're going to be having to charge them more, or should they stay where they should because it's cheaper?
Yeah, of course. I would
Of course.
recommend
Of course. That is what a good business individual will do. They're going to give and that's why we have great people with us. They will give honest feedback. If they should stay where they should stay, then they should. Right? How do you talk to your clients? Do you in good heart think that someone should make a lateral move that they can't really afford, however, and pay twice as much in interest than they were previously, and they're perfectly fine in their current home? No, you're not a part of that, because what's going to happen? You're trying to resell it at a fire sale 6 months to a year down the road, and they can't come out of it. We don't want that. No one wants that. No, that's not good money. That's bad money. You want good money.
Speaking of groceries, I thought I was getting stronger. I carried $100 worth of groceries in one hand.
Absolutely you did. One hand, one bag.
2 bags.
I want to take a look at this because there was a significant jump in some of these numbers this week, okay? We've got to look at this. And this, dig in deep, guys. Winter's coming. You got this. You're going to be just fine. But we need to be going back to our basics every day, making our calls, talking to our people, being loud about who we are. Be louder than the rest. We had jumps. 52 new listings last week, 84. 84.
Yep.
Coming soon's were 10. We had 38 price improvements. We had 8 back on market. Only 43 went pending last week with 84 new coming on. We have surplus inventory that we've never seen in years. Years. We're at years now, 2-3 years. Kevin.
That's 160 price decreases.
Yes.
I was just gonna say.
Yes.
160.
Yes.
That's a big number.
It's a big number.
Big number.
This is
Where do you add them all
shifting.
up, you mean?
Now, do we know school's starting, so people are holding off on things, and we have our normal summer historical cycles? Yes. However, these numbers are a little bit deeper. We've all known shifts were coming. Now we're seeing the shifting. Am I scared? No, and not at all. We're all well prepared for this. You have all the tools. You have all the everything. Just dig in deep and fight a little harder. You're not tired. You just need to pivot what you're doing. Yes, we all feel tired. Stop doing the things that aren't working. Concentrate on what does. Quit spinning your wheels and wasting your time. Get off Facebook unless you're doing marketing. Get out of the garbage. Quit listening to people talk about garbage. Quit listening to the lawsuit stuff. Quit listen to reputable sources. Not some idiot on Facebook who doesn't know what they're talking about. It's all opinion. It's all opinion. Margaret.
There's a recession going on and I'm not participating.
Correct.
Seriously, it's
Yes.
just your mindset.
Yes.
It's totally your mindset.
I
Your
had
thoughts.
my
You create your
historical
world.
largest jumps when I was actively selling during the recession, because I dug in and I did the things that others were not willing to do or they couldn't get their minds wrapped around. It doesn't mean that I slaved. No, I just did things that others couldn't wrap their mind around, that they weren't accustomed to doing. It wasn't part of their daily routines. You guys can dig deep and do this. I have zero concerns about that at all. But we really need to watch this. You need to know what's taking place because you have to see where you need to pivot. So I urge you and I challenge you over the next, so what do we have tasks to complete. We're scrubbing our listings within 24 hours so we don't look like a child wrote them. And then secondly, we're going to start removing, like we've been talking about. Look at your business and look at it on a 30,000 landscape level from above. What is working? You know, when you sit above and look, what works, what doesn't? What's costing you money that you don't need to spend? Where can you tighten that back down and put it in areas where it can be more valuable to you? Even if it costs you a little bit more, the return is better. Think about where you need to go and how you need to do it. Kathy?
So what I'm hearing is I sort of need to do self-talk.
Yes, we all need to do some self-talk
As
right
a
now.
listing agent, it my place isn't sold in 2 weeks, I'm thinking, I'm like other people, like, what the hell's the matter?
Right.
In the normal market back in the day.
2 weeks was nothing.
I started this back in the 70s. I mean, the normal market, you took the listing 120 days.
Oh, I
right?
laugh.
You sell 60 or 90.
Yes.
Now, if it's not sold in 2 weeks or I don't have a bunch of offers, I get freaked out. 2 days. And what I'm hearing you say is,
Calm
not
down.
doing that, Kathy.
Yeah.
Calm down. And
Calm down.
realize
The market is shifting.
Market is shifting a little bit. Or
And we need to
subtly.
find patience.
Maybe not shifting, but at least subtly a little bit.
Sellers just need to, we need to educate sellers. Communication is everything. We're seeing larger days on markets than we have in a couple of years. Now, when I mean larger, it doesn't mean 3, 4, 5 months. It means a couple weeks longer. These are not detrimental numbers. However, we need to be patient. We need to be patient.
It's interesting. I have a listing that came. It's been on the market for I don't know 3 weeks, 3 weeks, and I had a lot of interest, and I got my first offer, and it was below offer price, and it was a veteran agent, and he was bullying me. He was like, well, he put an expiration date of like 24 hours, and then I was like, well, no, I have a fiduciary duty to my clients. I'm gonna let them finish, and he's like, okay, we'll wait. And then I had a long conversation with him. It was just horrible. And then the next, he's like, well, it's been on the market for 3 days, or if it's going to go multiple offers, it should have. And I'm like, actually, no. I had told him a story about a different listing I had, and it went multiple offers after like 3 weeks. It was just really interesting how people. But
we have been operating under a sense of urgency for years. When you can really dissect it of how we've been forced to operate, right? Because we pivoted and we increased our productivity and we increased how quickly we reacted, what we were doing. You got the flyers out there faster. You got the shifts done faster. You got price reductions done faster. That urgency is reducing.
Right.
We need to adjust our mindset and our pace. We need to focus on delivering better quality materials, better quality services, better communication. That's where we thrive. The brand sells itself. The agent seals the deal.
But if you do all those things, it still sometimes doesn't work.
Right.
That's where I'm saying I gotta self-talk and
Yes.
realize it's not just about us.
It isn't.
You know, you can do continual quality work and you keep doing it, but set our own expectations. I'm just talking to myself right now.
You are going to find that your brand means more now than it has in the last 3 years. Because not just any agent can throw a listing on and it sticks and it sells. Your brand, your RE/MAX name. I don't get paid for sitting up here saying this. I have seen this before. Veterans have seen this before. That is going to matter. Scream it from the rooftops, because what does everybody recognize? The balloon, what's in the yard, what's behind your name. We love all of our fancy marketing, yes we do. However, the public needs to know that you are indeed a professional. And what do agents think? Oh, you go to RE/MAX when you've made it, right? That's a perception and that's a reality. RE/MAX was based on that and it still continues to be that way. That will be recognized. Utilize that to your advantage. You have the tools you need. The hardest part is done for you. Just improve and pivot what you're already doing right now. Your quality, your communication, your persistence, your process. Your process needs to be flawless. Because when all this negotiations start happening and commission talks are more and more and more, the process is going to be looked at because your services are going to be criticized if you're not providing them, correct? What am I paying for? What am I paying for? Are you delivering your services that you provided? Freshen all of that up.
So when we're describing a listing, we can't use colors anymore? I just say minority colored cabinets or something. What am I going to do?
Beautiful cabinetry, custom cabinetry.
Yeah, I don't usually have that problem because they're going to see on the pictures.
Let's just see how this rolls. This is something that you have to quit. Don't create hurdles where we don't know if there's going to be a hurdle.
They're going to see the pictures. They're going to see
It's
the
all
pictures.
good.
Stop.
It's gonna be all good.
It's all good.
We're all in the same boat together. Just keep going. Who has a new listing? Kevin.
320 Madison. This is going to be a sort of a unique, in a good way, home because it's a 1950s home that's been well maintained and it's very mid-century modern, beautiful woodworking, very unique indirect lighting. There's a piano built in the lower level. There's and they went through and they kept everything. It's wood floors. There's built-ins literally everywhere. Teresa would do a better job of doing it. And then we went out and we got mid-century modern furniture to stage this with. So it's going to be gorgeous. It's downtown Howell, obviously, steps away from Lake Thompson, steps away from Schofield Park, and it's going to be and it's got a large 2-car garage plus a separate 1-car garage. So, and it's a big lot, and it's going to be a very friendly $350.
Great.
So bring your buyers. Somebody's going to love this house.
I love me a mid-mod home. I do.
Somebody's going to absolutely love it. It is gorgeous.
I love mid-mod.
I have a new listing, 1221 Wilderness Hills Drive. And it's, I had it listed before, but we did a new roof.
Yeah.
We're doing new windows and doors, which was $550,000 for all new windows and doors. We redid all the floors, the wood floors, most of the wood floors.
It's a smart home.
It's all smart, everything's smart. We did something in the pool, put a new pump or something on the pool.
Lighting.
Everything's redone in this house. And
I know too much about this house.
we did a nice new driveway. It's perfect now.
Awesome.
And he will consider a land contract. I can't put it in because I get all these freaks calling me.
Yeah.
But he'll consider a 4.5% short-term contract too.
Put in the agent remarks that seller will consider,
Terms.
no, okay.
Because then I get these weirdos calling me, will he do 3%? Will he do?
Oh.
And my temper is not real good right now, so
Gotcha.
I'm not going to deal with them.
Can you put that
Good for you.
remarks?
Good look at you. That's smart. I'm impressed with you. Way to avoid. I like it.
They're stupid. So
No,
I'm just going
that's
to avoid
good.
it.
That's good. Margaret.
I have a new listing coming at the end of the month in the Chadwick Farms off of Maltby.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, a huge loft, and it's gonna be $450, like just below $450.
Wonderful.
And then I do have Paul and Julie Lichtenberg. They have a rental in Ann Arbor, 2300 Ranch near like Packard, and that's going live on Friday.
Wow. Very nice. Is that one of their personal ones?
Pardon?
Is that one of their personal ones?
Yeah, rental.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Good.
They're still in Germany.
But send me some buyers.
I'll give you an update from them next week. I get their newsletters, so we'll fill you in on what they've been doing. It's really cool when they come back. They're doing a really great mission over in Germany. It's incredible.
In Germany.
They're there for quite some time.
Spreading the love of Jesus to everybody.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. Any other new listings? All right, any buyer needs that are, we have a lot more inventory for your buyers. Start calling your buyers, because if they're going to start walking on you, and they're going to start going to listing agents if you don't stay in contact with them, because everybody's very excited for new listings. Lock them in, okay? Lock them in. Set them, take them to the houses. Don't just throw them to an open house.
If you're like saying you have a listing on Black Eagle Drive, you can't say take like White Road to Black Eagle
I
Drive.
don't know. I'm going to have to find out. I don't know.
No.
We have to. That's to be determined, Joe. We got to make that call.
Margaret.
Then you got to call the agent and really go.
Joe, you don't take care of that anyway.
I just want to add, so Dan and I, we have a lot of vacant land listings
Yes.
on Sleeper Road in Howell.
It's
Minutes
beautiful.
away from the downtown Howell, and they range from 2.5 to like 20, 40 acres.
20 acres,
20
I think.
20 acres.
I think the biggest
and
one's
then,
20.
On Main Street in Pinckney, 5 acres
Awesome.
for 150, so.
Awesome.
Awesome. 150.
Sleaford's a cool road if you haven't had an
it's
opportunity
awesome.
to
It's
check
really
it out.
unique.
It's a little hidden gem that yeah. Hey, I saw Joe on Friday. He looks great. I did go to Horse Feather's soft opening. It was an unexpected one. It was dynamic. If you're looking for a nice night out, the food is affordable. It's really tasty.
open
The
on
drinks
Wednesday.
were great. The ambiance is really neat. So, yes. He is doing well. He is tired. You will see him in and out like he has been. He has one more treatment left. Scans are still great. So he'll get another scan in September, and if that is clear as well, he will be officially in remission. So that's great news. He is so
he's back. He's still
grateful.
doing
Hey,
stuff.
if there's one thing I can say is he is so grateful for all your positive thoughts for him. So thank you.
All the cousins?